Hey, it's Frank with Connecticut Stormwater. We're here in Riverside, Connecticut, and we just started a project here to try to alleviate some water issues at the foundation. Customer's not sure where the water's coming in, but on a number of heavy rains, there's been flooding inside this house. There's a number of things we're going to do. We're going to pick up a downspout and create some drainage here and send that out and away from the yard. But first and foremost, we're exploring the foundation. We think there might be some cracks and flaws in the foundation. Very tough access here. We can't get a machine in, so we're hand digging. We're going to be here for quite a while, a day or two at a minimum. We're going to expose the foundation and see what we find, and then pivot and make a plan based on those findings. As you can see, we've only exposed about 12 inches of the foundation, and we have already incurred water in our trench. This is not a good sign. The reason for this is that the soil has a lot of clay in it, and it's not letting the water infiltrate. So it just hugs the house and stays in that area and has nowhere to escape. So it's going to find cracks and flaws in the foundation, and under hydrostatic pressure and gravity, it's going to make its way inside the house. So we're going to have to address that. Once we get deeper, we'll take a look at the foundation, see what the conditions look like, try to find the source of this water. It might just be ambient from the sky. It rained last night and just has nowhere to go. These beautiful decorative stones might actually be holding a lot of this water and keeping it against the house. So we will determine cause and effect, and then create a strategy on how we're going to wick this water away from the foundation. We're likely going to use some sort of a French drain system and take the water to daylight in another location on the property. As it goes with foundation exploration, project creep is very, very common. And you can see behind me, the staircase that was here yesterday is no longer. We've jackhammered it out. What we found was that that staircase was sinking pretty substantially. There was about 1.5 inches of movement at the top. We're not surprised based on what we find in this hole. Everything is very, very unstable. There's no footing, and everything is shifting. They put a lot of the debris from the construction of the house in the hole. We see that pretty often, but they didn't foot this thing. So the instability was allowing water to get behind it. Also, the foundation depths are different. This is a 10-foot basement with a full basement on this side. The other side is much more shallow with a crawl space. So we need to dig to the depth of the footing. The other thing is we didn't find a footing drain on the other side. We don't expect to find one here. So the water has nowhere to go. Soil quality is very poor. We realized that once we started to dig. There's a lot of clays and what's called expansive clay, which is swelling when it's wet and then shrinking when it's dry, is very, very bad for a foundation. If you have clays up against the foundation, when that clay swells, it could easily do damage to the foundation. So we're still digging. We still got to go down about 3-4 feet in this area here. We're going to continue our dig. Tomorrow we should be at the footing. We'll take a look at the foundation walls, make corrections as needed, waterproof it, create a vapor barrier, put some insulation against it, and start our backfill. And then we're going to rebuild these stairs. We're going to make them prettier than they were. They had bluestone treads, a stone veneer, and a wrought iron railing. We're going to put everything back intact. It's going to look absolutely amazing. Hey, we're still here working here in Riverside. This job just continues to creep and creep. We have what we call project creep. The homeowner continues to add work, which is fine by us. We're trying to fix a water problem. So we removed the staircase around this corner here, and we got underneath it. We're now digging down to the foundation. Big lesson learned here for you homeowners that are either buying a new house or are thinking about buying one. Buyer beware. That really is the message here. We're down at the footing. We're 10 feet down right now, and we were working by hand because it's a tight space, and it became impossible because what we were running into were big boulders laying on the footing and against the foundation. Very, very dangerous, very hazardous to the house. Could easily cause some shifting or cracking of the foundation, a big problem. So we got to a certain depth where we physically by hand could not remove these boulders. It was just too heavy and too dangerous. So we needed to sneak a machine in. We did that last night, and already this morning we're making fast work out of clearing this trench. We should be underway today on the repairs and the backfilling. We're going to install our pump system in the corner and send everything to it with a new French drain system. But for you guys shopping, you really don't know what's underground. And shame on you builders, whoever threw these rocks in here, these, not even rocks, boulders. A lot of times what we find are builders under construction, they have a big pile of debris. And when there's a hole, it's very common to see them just backfill that hole with trash and rubbish and often big boulders. Bad move to put the boulders against the foundation. We were able to remedy that with this project, so that's a good thing, and we're continuing our job. All right, I'm in the trench here, and we're moving right along. We've made major progress in the last 24 hours. What we have here are an addition and the main house, the original house. The main house has 9-foot ceilings in the basement. This addition just has a small crawl space. I'm basically standing on the footing of the addition. So what we've done is excavated around and explored the foundation. Everything's intact. We've now waterproofed. This is that black tar you see behind the foam. We've insulated, creating a vapor barrier, and we've laid a footing drain. It's a perforated 6-inch pipe. It's massive, surrounded by rock, and it's protected by this geotextile fabric. This is a Marafi product. Fantastic stuff, keeps out dirt, rock, anything that might foul our system. What we're doing is bringing our pipe around and hitting this pump chamber. This pump chamber is massive. It's 10 feet long. So it drops down at the original house another 4 feet. We're going to cut this down when we backfill, but right now we're proud, probably 1.5 to 2 feet. Our footing drain is now about to punch through here. You can see the guys are lining up elbows and getting ready to make a hole and penetrate, and the water will dump and fill this chamber. Also, we're going to continue around the other side with the footing drain at the foundation of the main house. That also is going to find its way into this pump chamber. At the end of the project, what we're going to do is set a pump and plumb it so that anytime water hits a certain level in this chamber, we're taking the water up and out. What we found is the footing drain is extremely wet on the main house. This house was being attacked by water right in this corner here. There's a finished bathroom in the basement, and they had water just pushing through the walls on a major storm. So now what we'll be doing with our pump is drawing water from under the foundation floor and around the foundation at the footing drain. We're going to fill this trench in. Basically, most of what you see, short of a few feet, is going to be our stone. It's going to be wrapped in that fabric. You can see the fabric's already laid in the trench. And then we'll backfill with soil and pack this nice and tight and compact it. Then what we're going to do is rebuild a staircase because the old one was damaged and sinking. We're going to start building our staircase once we have a compacted foundation that'll tie into the house properly and no longer slide on us. So we're nearly there. A lot of the pipe that we exposed, the drainage pipe around the house that's in our trench, is thin wall pipe. It's garbage. We're just cutting it out and replacing it with quality pipe while we're in here, tying in our downspouts that are exposed with quality pipe, also using the proper fittings. We're going to use T-Wise. They had 90-degree elbows on these pipes. Completely non-serviceable with cameras and jetting equipment. So we're making gradual transitions into the pipe with our new fittings. That'll allow us to maintain this system after our build, and everything will be in shape and handling water properly.